is dedicated to enhancing a vibrant international community and to fostering cross-cultural experience. One of the best ways to ensure this is through a student exchange program that provides a culturally unique opportunity to develop and hone skills that lead an individual to become the best manager possible. So this brings us to the agenda of today's session. So we are here for an interactive session with the exchange students who have studied at international universities in Germany, Austria, and the USA, who will be sharing their journey and experiences to help you make the right decision. We also have with us Dr. Satendra Kumar Upadhyay, Head of International Relations of Sumaya Vidya Vihar and Assistant Professor at General Management Department. So I would request everyone to put their mics on mute. And if you have any queries, then feel free to type your queries in the chat box addressing to me. So let's start the session. Now I would request Satendra sir to speak a few words.
Thank you, Swapnil. And first of all, it's very warm welcome to all of you. A very good afternoon to each and everyone. And yes, I think it's very important session today you guys have planned. And regarding international exchange program at Somaya Vidya Vihar University, especially at the KJ Somaya Institute of Management, we started few years back, but in the last 3 years, I think we have done remarkable progress. We have around 31 partner with the international universities in almost 16 countries abroad. And specifically the semester exchange program, we have with almost 5 countries as of now today. Like in Austria, we have in Germany, USA, France, as well as the Belgium, where it applied to the management student specifically. And in the if I refer to the last 3 years, we started with a one student, but I think it has gone year by year. More and more students has been participating it. And myself, I have been exchange student abroad for 4 years through the Government of India program. So I do understand how important is for a student to study abroad in terms of the personality development and also interpersonal, cross-cultural skill altogether to learn from the exchange program. Once you are there in abroad, you just don't only get the cross-cultural experience of that particular country, language, and also you get a very good experience of learning with many students from various countries in the same class. And that is the what I feel personally feel is a lifetime experience, because that time all the students are pretty open-minded, and there you start with the learning with the no selfishness kind of, it's a very free thoughts where you learn from each other from various country. And also the another experience which I think like probably student might be sharing it, I would be happy to listen them. Like adopting those culture, and especially being away from our family, our home country, comfort zone, how we are make our existence in the foreign countries, and also make ourselves recognizable over there. So what sort of the things, process adaptation, and bringing back those value to our academics in the class, as well as the life and the career ahead about that. And once I think when we are in the job or in the career, our professional career, all those experiences still helps. And I would like to see whether these students, they also have the same similar opinion about that. And year on year, like the we are trying to give more and more exposure to the students in the coming years, in the coming time. Even in the pandemic time, we are happy, like some of the students, they could complete their exchange program very successfully in the Germany and Austria and USA as well. And we will be probably bringing more option in the basket in the coming years. Every year the partners are increasing about that. And what we want to make you all be good at. As you know, the vision and mission of the institute is like, making a global world class institute. So we also want to have MBA graduate to have the world class manager ready for the corporate, which they are not only able to handle the any position in the worldwide, also they must be very good at handling the situation of the corporate challenges across the various domain in various countries or MNCs about that. So hopefully this session helps to students to plan their program, and in the coming years. And every year we have twice intake about the semester exchange program, but for MBA mostly it helps when you have the program starting from between January to June, about that every year. So that is the best time when you guys are placed, and then you go abroad for that. And usually all the semester exchange program application process start almost 6 months before about that. So we give all freedom to student to go through the process, and I think the learning from these students will help them how to plan it. Actually, you have to prepare well in advance, so then only the program goes successful. And most of our program is a tuition fee waiver program, where you don't pay, student no need to pay the tuition fee at the partner university, and your credit get transferred over the years. So we are standardizing the process in the coming years, where you have the very smooth will be going on. As you know, we become the university from the last year, so a lot of processing is happening. So this will help definitely in terms of the entire process completion about that. So thank you for giving me an opportunity to speak with few words with you guys all, and I'm happy and look forward to listen you guys from. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, sir, for the briefing about the student exchange program. Now, I would request all the speakers to share their insights and experience with us. So, first, we have with us Akhilesh Sablok, St. Martin University, USA. So, yeah.
Hi everyone. Hi Satyendra sir.
Hello, very warm welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. I hope you all are good at your places in this time.
Can we have you on camera also? If
Yeah, sure, sure, sir. Just a minute. Yeah, can you see me now?
yeah, sure. Thank you.
Yes. Brief introduction about me. My name is Akhilesh. I'm from 2018-20 batch, and I'm from PGDM Finance. So currently, I'm working in Infosys, and I went to St. Martin University as an exchange student. So it was a great experience for me overall. The university is very beautiful. It's situated in such a beautiful city, Seattle, near Seattle. And the process is obviously lengthy. The process for getting started, since the visa application till getting a visa and everything, the documentation, a lot of documentation is required. And the overall experience was good, but due to this corona pandemic, our classes went online. But still I was there at the university, so I went through with my classes there only from US. So we didn't got a lot of opportunity to interact with the students over there, or to take part in the daily regular activities that happen usually. But still it was an overall good experience. Seattle is a very beautiful city. If anyone gets a chance to go for, or anyone is interested to going to US for the student exchange program, I'll definitely recommend it, because USA is a very beautiful country. I was able to visit a lot of places in this pandemic, being over there. And if you have any doubts regarding the application process, how to proceed with it, how to apply for visa and all, you can surely contact me. I have a document prepared with me for the whole process. So I'll also share with the uh, IBS committee about that, and you guys can go through that. It will be really helpful for you to go through the document. And all I have listed all the process in that. And do you have any questions for me? You want to ask any particular thing or?
Akhilesh, like at the end, we have a Q&A session. Uh, at that time, questions will be there. So,
Okay, okay.
yeah.
Sure,
Thank you.
sure.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. So I'll be going on mute then.
Yeah, thank you so much, Akhilesh. If we have any question, we'll definitely reach out to you. So next we have Ruchir Fulhani, University of Applied Science, Krems, Australia.
Austria.
Hello. Yeah, am I audible? Am I audible, Swapnil?
Yes,
Anybody
yes.
Yes,
can?
you are
Hello,
audible.
Yeah.
audible.
Okay. Thank you. So I just wanted to thank you. I just wanted to say thank you for this opportunity to share my experience. So I will start that I was very much motivated towards going for an intern like a exchange program from before I joined MBA. After like during the first few weeks when the whole University of Somaya explains us about their values and what opportunities it provides us. So during that first few weeks, I got an opportunity to see that few of the students have gone for exchange semester before, and seeing those presentations, I from that point on I decided that I want to go for such a semester exchange program. So from then on, I started interacting with the international relations team and with Sir Satyendra Sir as well, to see what are the opportunities available which I can tap onto, and what are the requirements and like past experience or some language requirements that would be there to go for such programs. After like there were some sign-ups that were floated for different universities, and I wanted to go for some European country. So I chose such partner universities in Germany and Austria. I applied for them, and like fortunately, I got through the Austrian University of Applied Sciences in Krems. I got through there, and although it was an engineering campus, the campus was basically for engineering people. But so I was a little bit skeptical at first that if I should go for such program or not, because I am coming like I am doing a management course in finance. So will it be helpful me for me to go in such program or not? But I because I was sure that I wanted to go for a semester exchange, and I was focusing on the qualitative aspects more than the quantitative aspects, like finance program. Like I wanted to learn more about the intercultural experience, the leadership qualities, and other such things which are also important in a management course. So I still went on forward with this program. Then while going, I was completely mesmerized by the place. I was very well greeted by the people over there, and I could see that the international program, the international exchange program, was very well organized, and it had been going on for many years. By like from seeing what they had provided for us and how they were interacting with us, I could see that they had been doing this for continuously for too many years, and I could see people coming from different countries and interacting with them. For 1 month, I attended classes in the classroom itself, and it was similar to what we have over here. The pedagogy of teaching and everything was similar. 50% of internals, 50% of externals. And one important aspect I got was um, to select my own courses, since it was an engineering based university. So I decided to take it as my advantage, and I chose courses which were like into AI, machine learning, big data, because these are like the future technology trends, and this would I thought that this would really help me in my placements or my future career as well, like learning these skills. So apart from the qualitative, I focused on the quantitative aspects as well. I also chose some technology focused programs, and the ability to select such programs on my own basis, chart out my own calendar, and see my own availability and choosing courses was a really flexible in a really flexible environment, was one of the positive points of this exchange semester. And then I would say that yeah, so I would stick to my whatever I have been given. The so I would go like I would stick to that. I won't take much time of yours. So the entire cost of the program was around 3.5 lakhs, like going to the, like including the travel, stay and everything. I think it would be a little bit less than that only. And what the visa requirements is a short-term visa requirement. So you need a short-term visa D, and all the on the internet, on the Austrian website, you can find all the requirements for that. It's very simple. The application process will take not more than 1 month from once you start, and you need to book your accommodation from before when you are applying for that. And the cost for the application of the visa is less than 10,000. Apart from that, yeah, you cannot do any part-time job or any like in if you do if you're going for a short-term visa. If you go for less than 6 months, then you cannot do any part-time job, so take care of that. Apart from that, yeah, and yeah, you I didn't do much preparation from before, like I just went with the flow. But if you're go I would say, if you're going to some country where there is a different language, I would say that focus 1 or 2 months on learning that language, because apart from the university, outside everything is in another language, and it really helps if you know the language in interacting with people and getting to know the culture more. So yeah, that would be my 2 cents. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ruchir, for sharing your experience and telling us all the requirements. So now we also have with us Dr. Brijesh Bolia, chairperson of IBS. So he is a professional in marketing with experience of working in the higher education industry as well as the corporate sector. So, sir,
Yes, good afternoon,
yeah.
everyone. How are you guys? All well. So nice to have this interaction between the new aspirants and the people who have been there. So great. Carry on with the activity. Will observe, will move, will see, and good listening to people who have been there. Anna. So continue, please.
Thank you so much, sir. So next we have Shashwat Tiwari, University of Applied Science, Steyr, Austria.
Hi everyone. Can you all see me?
Yeah, hello,
Yeah.
Shashwat.
Okay.
We can see you.
Yeah. Good evening, Brajesh sir, Saten sir, and everyone else. So as mentioned already, I went to
Yes, Joshua.
University
Great.
of Applied Sciences in Steyr. It's in Upper Austria. So one of the reasons I chose Austria is that geographically it's in the center of Europe, right in the center, and a lot of countries are connected to it. So a lot of traveling opportunities were there, and I mean, Austria is one of the most beautiful countries, even within Europe also. So I thought, okay, why not be a part of Austria for a lot of learning? And apart from that, one of the reasons is that I have a lot of inclination towards learning history and culture, and Austria has a very rich culture. So I thought, why not learn culture along with management? So, and the combination went very well, because the city where I was, practically the entire city is a museum, because the lot of buildings are 1,000 years old, and also, which was very interesting and very good experience. So that was the reason I chose. Now, if I talk about the startup, I mean the internship opportunity, then luckily I got one. I contacted someone, a founder in Vienna. It was a vertical farming startup called Cropify, and I contacted. His name is Mr. Daniel Podmisek. We are still in touch. So, but unfortunately, what happened is that when I was supposed to join in March, the lockdown happened, so it couldn't work out. But then, yes, since the opportunities are there, and I don't know about the technical aspect of visa, but if you can get the work permit locally made through the magistrate of the city where you're staying, then yeah, you can work as well for minimum wage. So which is already a law in Austria. So that was one thing. Now, if I talk about the expenses, then expenses would include, as Ruchir mentioned earlier, that 3.5 to 4 lakhs would be maximum. But if you intend to travel extensively in the EU, then it would go up to 5 lakhs at the max. So the expenses will be around 5 lakhs only, and which will be primarily your accommodation and your fooding bills. So that would be. Now, the documentation and the regular visa activity and all, so regular, that's part of the process. So you will be going through it. And it's not that very hectic. It'll be a smooth process. The learning agreement, which includes your subjects, so choose your subjects very wisely in your learning agreement, because that would be, because in in Europe, you get a lot of opportunity to choose your subjects. So that be wise in that, because that will help you to be more clear and to have better understanding about what management skills you should acquire being a part of a student exchange program. And mainly, apart from that, as sir already mentioned, that most of the programs are fee waivers. So the tuition fees is usually not there, which was the same case in Austria also. We didn't pay the tuition fees, but then your main expenses will be your accommodation and your fooding. So that would be, and make sure that before you even land in the country, you have your accommodation done, the agreement done, because that way it will be much smoother. Now, just one piece of advice for people who intend to go to Europe. If you want to travel through train cheaply, always have an OBB card. It's called OBB card. It'll be very helpful to you if you're 26 or less in age. Then you will have you will get a lot of discount being a student, because Austria is very relaxed in terms of cheaper student travel and student education. So have an OBB card for sure. I made that a point just to point it out. Now, if the culture, just try to make yourself as much as culturally aware of the country you're going as much as possible. In fact, when you reach there, so faculties there also will make a sincere effort to make you more aware, to let you gel in well. But it's always good to be more aware even before going there. And always inquire your buddy. You will always be assigned a buddy. So always, talk to the buddy about what preparation you should make. So in my case, what happened was, we were clearly mentioned that if you're coming on Sunday, then don't expect anything, because the whole of Austria is shut on Sunday. So this I knew beforehand. So such information helps a lot. So always be in touch with your buddy. And I was like that. So that will be all from my end. And it was a wonderful experience. And if you go, you'll have one of the best time of your life. So thank you. That's all from me.
Thank you so much, Shashwat. So that's really great to hear from you. Next, we have Shubhanshu Singh, DHPW Stuttgart, Germany.
Guys, I hope you are able to hear me clearly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So I went to Germany for my student exchange program this year itself, from March to September. So I stayed there for 1 month long because of flight issues due to Corona and things like that. So coming to my experience, I'll tell you, I'll just go down the pointers just mentioned in the invitation. So while selecting the country, it was just because you have a tuition waiver in Germany, you don't have to pay for the fees. So that is a good part. And as well as Germany is known for people who do MS and higher education. Secondly, I had few of my friends living there. So I had some idea about the culture, how to be there, how the things are in that particular country. So I was quite inclined towards going to Germany when I got that opportunity, and I grabbed it with both hands. Talking about the documents, the visa process, it's all smooth, but it generally takes a bit of time, because there are certain things which it happens quite slow in Germany. Like the banking system in India is very fast, but compared to Germany, it's very slow. It's very slow compared to India. So to open an account in India, you can open in 1 day, whereas in Germany, it can take about 15 to 20 days minimum, because you'll get an appointment with the person to open an account after a week once you enter a bank. So these things take time. So you have to apply for visa as early as possible, so that you have an ample of time to prepare for things. Coming to preparations of what to take, so there are because it's a different country, we are in a developing country, and that country being a developed country, so things are very different. So just ensure that you carry small things with you, so that you don't end up spending money there on useless things. Just for example, like your laptop charging point. So it's a 3-pin charging point which you use there for laptops. But in Germany, you don't have any 3-pin concept there. They're only a 2-pin thing. So if you don't have a convertible universal adapter with you, which works for all the countries, say USA, Europe, then you might end up buying that there, which is very expensive, 4 or 5 times more. So just ensure that you carry these things, you understand what you require, and you carry these things. You carry some snacks with you because those are very expensive there. So you can save around 40 to 50,000 just by being aware as to what to carry there, so that you don't end up spending there. Coming to when you go there, so it's a very different experience for being an Indian, because our country is so big, and when we travel to states, it takes, like, if you go from say north to south in a train, it generally takes for us 2 or 3 days. But there, like in 3 hours, you're in a different country. Like from Germany to Switzerland is 3 hours in a train. So you're literally going a different country in 3 hours. So the experience will be very different for you, because there are lots of different people in a small area. So if you say in India, when we go, we meet similar kind of people, but there, once you are roaming on the road, you might meet someone from Africa. If you walk 100 meter ahead, you might meet someone from Switzerland. Walk 100 meter ahead, you might meet someone from USA. So that experience is very different, where you are meeting people from different country, and the concept of multilingual society, or a multinational people living, how they behave, you can understand those things in depth when you go to those particular countries, because Germany is like the hub of Europe. So people from all around the world come there, and being, to the country being less in population, somewhere around 8 crores, whereas our own state, Uttar Pradesh, has 26 crores, so 3 times the whole population of Germany. So you can understand that the area wise, the population of that country is very less. So you have huge spaces, to roam to freely. So the whole experience of visiting the country or going to a place is very different. Coming to the academic part, so again the experience will be different, because it depends, because the teachers and all the faculties are also coming from a western region. So whatever they will tell you, they'll teach from that standing point. Like if you are learning from someone who is in India, we might talk more about the service industry, but they are a more manufacturing or a more product industry in Germany. So when you are any subject, if you are studying marketing, or if you are studying social media marketing, you'll be taught more in respect of in view of how a product company markets, or how a manufacturing company does its job, or how innovation happens. That's what is done. And basically in India, we are a service led industry. Most of the GDP comes from a service led industry. So there's a basic difference which you'll feel when you will be doing your classes, because the way the teacher will explain something will be different. Subjects are more or less similar to what we have learned. There are few subjects which will be different, and the fact that you will be asked to choose your subjects depending on the timetable, which earlier some of my colleagues have told, is the plus point, where you can decide when do you want to leave, when do you want to roam some place, and then you can decide your subjects accordingly. So talking about academic, this is what I can say. Next, the pattern is also very different. Here you will get lots of projects for external exam. There will be no projects like internal 50 marks or external 50 marks. This thing kind of a scenario which we have in KJ Somaya. So it will be a different experience where you go for one semester and you enjoy being in a different culture, being for different students. The Germany was also hit by pandemic, but for the initial 1 month, I had my classes offline on the classrooms. So it will be a different experience where 10 or 15 people are sitting, not much. So the attention of the teacher will be very much on you. Here, when you study in Somaya, like if you will study, you'll be 50, 60 people in the class. So the teacher cannot, put pinpoint on one student. He cannot focus. But there, there are only 10 or 12 students sitting, not max than 10 or 12 students. So the focus of a teacher is very much on you, and so that you will be very alert. And there are people from different countries, so their viewpoint on a different idea as to how do you market. So people from Mexico will have a different perspective, you being an Indian will have a different perspective, someone from a Germany, a developed country, will have a different perspective. So all these things make your experience pretty different, and it gives you an enriching experience that you have gone somewhere where you have learned not just academically, whereas different facets of your life. So be it living there, understanding the culture, gelling with the culture, how to have a flexible mind. So psychologically also you'll grow, and academically and otherwise it's your opportunity. Coming to internships, so in Germany, it's a very rule-prone country. So, like when you will go and you'll have your orientation, you'll sign almost 10 to 15 documents of government as a student, that what can be done, whether your photograph, if someone takes your photograph, where that photograph can be played, whether it can be placed on social media, any public forum, things like that. So you'll have plenty of documents. It's a very rule oriented country, everything is on rules and regulations. So if you're doing an internship, like here we do a live project, we can do it normally, we can adjust, we can do, but there are rules that if you're doing a live project, you cannot do more than 40 hours. For certain internships, you cannot do more than 120 hours per week or per month, similarly. So I also got a chance to, to get an internship. I got an opportunity, but the fact that the company was asking me to stay there in Germany and do it, not come to India, whereas I had to continue my second year, so I dropped that opportunity and I came back. So you can get an opportunity for internship if you try. It's a bit it's little difficult being in a different country, but that is the experience to explore the job opportunities there, or how the market for job is there. So because in future, if you move, then you are in a bit comfortable than before. So this is what your whole experience for Germany would be. And similarly, if you go there, you will witness something else, and every person will have something or the other to learn for. So thank you. That's all.
Thank you so much, Shubhanshu. It's great hearing from you. So next we have Vaibhav Thakur, THI in Kogstedt, Germany.
Hello, everybody. I hope I'm audible and clearly visible to you all.
Yes, Vaibhav.
Good evening to one and all. Just a rectification. It's THI Ingolstadt in Germany. So never mind. I did not get it right in the first place. So even I'll follow the pointers as same as Shubhanshu. And since Shubhanshu and I were in the same country, Germany, and his university was just 3 hours away from mine, so we kind of have a similar experience. So I would not bore with the same things that he had said. I will just share my experience. First of all, why did I choose Germany? I had multiple reasons. One, I love cars. I love fast cars. I am a fan of BMW and Audi. So my first preference would have been DATW, which is in Stuttgart and which is close by to Munich. But due to some reasons, I ended up in THI, which is in Ingolstadt. And fortunately, like you can say, it was a very lucky coincidence for me. I have a cousin who has been staying in Germany from 5 years, and he also has passed out from the same university, THI. So that was one major factor. That was kind of a cost saving factor for me. Like everybody else had to pay for their accommodations, but I ended up saving on my accommodation because I ended up staying with my cousin. And the experience was very beautiful. Germany is a very beautiful country in Europe, and it's all like Shubhanshu mentioned that you have to strictly follow and obey the laws, and there is a heavy penalty. If I were to give you a simple example, like if you park in no parking zone, you just get fined like 30 euros for a particular day. You have cultural variety. You meet different people from different countries, and yeah. So from the very first year, I had thought of going to Germany only because the experiences of the seniors that they had shared with us was very amazing, and it was very amusing to hear their experiences. And I wanted to go to European country for other purposes also. So hence that was the reason I chose Germany. Second, the application process was more or less similar. You have to apply at least 2 months before before you get your visas and anything paperwork cleared. The cost is around like 3.5 or 4 lakhs, but I ended up saving, which I eventually turned out to be spending on a Europe tour once the pandemic restrictions are lifted. So I got an opportunity of, exploring at least 11 countries in 2 months and more maybe. Regarding the academic part, what I can say is, yeah, the most beneficial thing that you get to choose over there is that you have to choose your own subjects, you have to choose your own courses. And that's a fun thing to do because that is not what the case is there in India. So I chose the courses which were helpful, since I was already in second year. I chose the courses which could, enhance my skills as a manager, and what all courses would benefit to me. Like since I'm from an MMS finance background, so I chose the particular courses regarding to that. And yeah, overall the experience was very nice. It was a very fun experience, and I ended up staying in Germany for around 7 months, which is not the usual case. So usually you need to apply for a Schengen visa, which is kind of a 3-month visa. But since we have to keep a buffer of 1 month or so, so the visa companies all they tell you, and they tell you to not apply for a Schengen but for a national visa, or for just on a safer side, because if your visa gets expired once, you are not allowed to extend your visa under normal circumstances. Because we had corona pandemic hit, I was offered to extend my visa for a month or so, but since there was not much to explore, and there was not many things to do over there, hence I just chose not to extend and come back to India. So yeah, feel free to get into touch regarding any experiences or any hurdles that you come across during your applications, if anybody's looking forward to apply to TH Ingolstadt. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Vaibhav, for sharing your experience. So at last, but not the least, we have Palak Shah, DHBW, Stuttgart, Germany.
Yeah, hi. Am I audible? Am I audible? I hope I am.
Yeah, Palak, you are audible.
Yeah, hi. Hi, everybody. Good evening. I'm Palak Shah. Just to give a brief introduction about me, I was a part of the 1820 batch when it was still called KJ Simsa, and I was a part of MMS finance batch, and I went to Germany DHBW in March 2019, and I came back after 4 months. That was July 2019, and it is actually very disheartening for me to hear all these stories where they were hit with pandemic and they couldn't experience the classroom learning with all the other students from different parts of the country, where I was extremely privileged that I was a part of an environment where I studied with people from almost every part of the country of the world, and it was truly a lifetime opportunity for me, and I'm so happy that I got to be a part of that particular student exchange program. And to start with, why I chose DHBW. So luckily that was, I think, the first time where 5 of us, 4 being MMS students, and we 4 friends who are from the same group, we went together for the program, and we troubled Satyendra sir till no end to make that happen. And eventually it all turned out well. We 4 of us from the same class, from the same group, went there, and almost all the formalities, the visa formalities and everything were taken care of. I think we did that in January, but we were pretty late for that. So if you're planning to go in March, the ideal time to get your visa done is December. And DHBW actually offers a very large uh, a variety of subjects that they have to offer. I took finance, and as a part of finance, we have been taken to Stuttgart Stock Exchange, where our professors taught us exactly how to trade and how how Stuttgart as a state trades, and that was very insightful. We were taken to so many other places from the university itself. We were taken to like there are different buddy engagement programs. So we were taken for a city tour, and we were taken for different activities like ice skating and everything, which was all on the university. They were extremely engaging, and they made sure that all the exchange students were made very comfortable in that country. Also, we had a opportunity to host Monica ma'am and Lamba sir because we have a great rapport with DSPW. So at different times, both of them visited DSPW for a guest lecture, and we met them over there. We went for dinners, and in fact, the friends that I made there from different countries, Koreans and Mexicans, they are still very much in touch with all of us. And uh, if cost is supposed to be considered, then we ended up spending a little more because we at that time travel was completely open and we all visited more than 11 to 15 countries, all the neighboring countries. So we had a great time traveling. We of course, Europe is a very good retail center, so we even ended up shopping a lot. So our expenses were a little more, but it can be covered within 4 lakhs, that is for sure. And yeah, even I did not do any internship. We weren't allowed actually at that point of time because German is necessary for uh, work over there. That was what we were told from the university, so we were not allowed to work. And I had a 6-month Shenzhen visa. And uh, with respect to any other question, I think I lost track of all the questions that I was supposed to answer, but if there's anything else, you can definitely let me know. That's it from my side.
Sure, Palak, we'll definitely reach out to you. Thank you so much. So now, Himanshu.
I would request everyone to turn on the cameras for a picture, please.
Kriti, you can stop the screen share for a minute.
No,
No. After the screenshot.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. So thank you so much, all the speakers, for your valuable insights and experience. So now floor is open for Q&A session. We have a question on chat box. So I'll read it out and one of you can answer it. Okay. So first question we have. So who do you socialize with? How did you meet your social group?
So I'd like to take that question. At least from my experience, that was back in 2019. I used to live in a dorm where we used to have a personal room, but in an apartment there used to be 6 or 7 rooms where there are people from all different universities along with different countries. So Germany has a scheme of things where there's no particular hostel for a particular university. All the students in the country, at least in the state, I can say, or in this particular instance in Stuttgart, are all the students live in the designated hostels. So I made friends with people from Tunisia, from Bulgaria, from Mexico, from Bangladesh, who were studying different subjects, different universities, but we used to still live under the same roof. And that's how we socialized, that's how we made friends, and their friends came. We used to make dinners together in our apartments, and that's how we used to socialize.
That's lovely. So next question I have, just a second. So describe the main social activities you took part in. So I think
I'd like to take that question. Can everyone hear me?
yes, Shashwat.
Yeah. So
You can switch
so
on
social
the
activity.
camera also, so people they can see.
Sure. So see, I mentioned earlier that even the teachers, the professors will make a sincere effort to make you socialize with the culture, local people, as well as a student. So the interesting activity which we were supposed to do was that we were so many students from so many countries. we were supposed to stand in concentric circle and introduce each other to everyone else, like us to everyone else in the whole circle, where the inner circle moved and the outer circle stayed there. So that way we met everyone and we got introduced to everyone, and which was a very good thing because everyone was very looking forward to it. Apart from that, we were deliberately sent to the city's center and talk to the locals on our own and try to understand their behavior, so that it helped us to gel in well with the culture. So that way we could socialize. We socialize a lot with a lot of people in the local as well as with the student from other countries. So that way, and there will be other opportunities as well, international dinners, like people cooking their own home food, like in their own country food and bringing it in, then a lot of parties. So that way, social being well acquainted with the people is not much of a concern, because there will be many opportunities and you just have to be a little less shy, because you will be able to have a lot of fun that way and socialize well with the people. So in fact, the local students, I mean, the university will make an attempt to make that happen. So I think that would be an easy thing to do, socializing with others.
Thank you so much, Shashwat.
So I would like
Yeah.
I would like to
Sure. Go on.
So since my experience is from US, so I would like to tell you all that the university in the US, they have a concept called host families, where they interact the international students with the families from around the places around the universities, and it's like your local guardian or local family over there. So you can even live with them if they are comfortable on taking care of your expenses also. And since I was on a J1 visa category, so you can even work over there. Like you can work in the campus or you can work outside of the campus, but you need the permission of the international officers from over there. So it was also a good opportunity. I did internship over there. I was associated with a company, so I used to write an article on the finance articles for that company, and they have a lot of session. So where they organize a lot of events, sports as well as cultural events. So people from different countries, they present their own culture, dress up like that, and they have a movie night also. They have a night under the stars. They take you to trekking and the nearby places also. So, but since due to Corona, our trip got cancelled. We were supposed to visit Portland. That's a city nearby, 2 3 hours city from Seattle. So yeah, there are a lot of opportunities, activities that are carried on in SMU. So you can enjoy a lot over there.
Thank you so much, Akhilesh. That sounds very interesting. So, kind of follow-up question. So, was this what you wanted from your year abroad, and does your experience match up?
Yeah, actually, from the starting, I was oriented to go towards the US. I wanted to experience the education system and the college life of the US. So, but I wasn't able to get a full 100% of experience due to pandemic. But still, the experience that I got, I stayed for I stayed over for there for 6 months, but I was usually supposed to be there for 3 months. So that's count. So I was able to visit a lot of places nearby. I visited Canada also. I lived in Canada as well, and yeah, that will I'll say it was a overall good experience. And the from academic purposes, like you can choose your own subjects. They give you a list of 5 10 subjects. You can choose from whichever subjects you want. The class timings are pretty different. Like some classes are at night, some classes are in the morning, and then the academic the aspect is not that hectic, so the study is very easy over there. I would like to add that. And the faculty is very much helpful. You can approach anyone, and they'll surely help you. They have students also the to take the problems or help them out with the students. Like we have a student council in KJ, so they have a similar kind of concept over there as well.
Thank you so much, Akhilesh. So next question I have for Palak. So how safe is Germany for girls? Did any problems occurred with respect to food and lodging in the new country?
So to be very honest, Germany is one of the safest countries in the world. There was absolutely no problem when it came to safety. So that is absolutely out of question. No matter where you go in the entire country, no, even when you're traveling or anything, you don't have to be worried about anything. But of course, you have to be cautious all the time. But otherwise, there was absolutely no issues of safety. And secondly, regarding food, so yeah, I'm a vegetarian. So we had a little issue. So I'll tell you a funny incident. We were calling for pizza from outside, and I asked for I think I asked for peppers, like bell peppers and something like that. And they sent, instead of peppers, they heard something wrong, and put prawns in it, and they sent. So there were instances where they did not understand my accent, and but that was just in the initial few days. Later on, you get used to everything, and then actually Germany is a very uh, different country like that, because veganism is budding over there. So everywhere we went, not just Germany, even other countries in Europe, we used to find some vegan restaurants here and there, some McDonald's, or we used to find McDonald's, Burger King, or something, and we used to eat. But most of the times when we were in the dorms, we used to cook by ourselves. I took all the masalas and everything from here. And just as I think someone mentioned earlier, because all that is pretty expensive, I took most of my food in packets, and I went there. So yeah, food is also manageable.
And
Thank you
just to
so
add up,
much.
just to
Yeah.
add up to the food part, even if you do not carry, if you're a vegetarian, I'm also a vegetarian, so I used to cook my own food mostly. But even if you don't carry your, the spices and all from here, you will always find an Indian store invariably wherever you are in any part of Europe, because a lot of Indians live there. So not too much worry about that. In fact, you will get Ashirwad ka atta, MDHK masale, everything. So that was good. So nothing to worry about the food if you're a vegetarian. So that's pretty much about it.
I would also request a speaker to switch on camera so people they can see, like when you are speaking. Yeah, Swapnil, go ahead, please.
Yeah, thank you so much, Palak and Shashwat. So next question I have specifically for Akhilesh. So what was the curriculum like, and where did you stay during the program, and how was it? And what was the approx overall expenses?
Mayank, can you repeat the question again?
Yeah, so what was the curriculum like? Where did you stay during the program, and how was it? And what was the approx overall expenses?
So coming to the curriculum part, like I told you, you get a list of 5, 10 subjects, and for me it was like the SMU has a lot of different courses under it. So MBA was a specialized field. They have a specialized course MBA. So I was a part of that. I used to study with the students who were pursuing MBA over there. I got an opportunity to choose the subject for my kind. They were related to MBA, and the staff is very helpful. They don't have a exam kind of scenario, like for the end of the semester you have to give final exams or something like that. So it was like the overall curriculum was something. So you have to give one project's presentation, you have to give on submit on assignments. So they assess you based on that. And coming to the accommodation part, they have dormitories over there. We call them dorms. They are not exactly dormitories. So it's like a hostel kind of concept where you can get your own apartment, like a sharing apartment. You can have a kitchen, living space, everything like that, and you can live in a hostel also on the sharing basis, like a proper hostel like we have in KJ. So from accommodation part, accommodation is slightly expensive over there if you live in hostel, but you don't have any other opportunity to go out of the hostel. They don't let you live outside the hostel. And it was around for living on the hostel and the food campus. it will cost you around $5,000 USD. That will be the approximate cost, like around 3.5 lakhs or 4 lakhs. That will be the approximate cost just on living on the campus. And the overall, if you want to visit a lot of places, you want to go out, you want to have foods outside and go shopping, then you can spend anywhere around, you can go up to 10 lakhs also. So my senior, they went to Hawaii also, they went to a lot of different places. So even I traveled to Canada. So yeah, it's pretty expensive on the US side. But if you are cooking on your own food, like in apartment, you can cook your own food. So you can save like around 1500 USD if you can cook. So I would say if you can cook, like do your own cooking. It's very expensive over there to eat from mess and all. And the groceries are very cheap. Like they are really cheap, even cheaper than India also. So that's not an issue.
Thank you so much, Akhilesh. So, Shubhanshu, I have a kind of similar question for you as well, that if you can tell us about the curriculum there and what were the expenses, the major expenses?
So the curriculum was basically, so whoever has applied for semester exchange, you'll get a list of subjects. So you'll have international marketing, you'll have mix of marketing and finance, as well as one subject in operations. So in marketing, you'll have international social media marketing, international marketing, then consumer research. The subjects are pretty much similar to SIMSA. You have one subject of IT, information technology service management. You have two or more subjects of finance. So you have subjects for obviously there are subjects for learning German. You had one subject for learning about how to do business in the Arab country in the Middle East. There were a couple of more subjects as well. I'm not quite remembering those subjects. So you'll get a list of 10 to I think 10 or 12 subjects in which you can select 5 or 6 subjects, maximum 6 to 7 subjects, because that is what is the maximum limit of that particular university, DHBW. So this is what about the curriculum. And coming to the next part, so can you repeat the next question?
Yeah, the overall expenses, like the
Okay.
major expenses, or yeah.
So coming to the overall expense, what you can say is generally the visa expense and flight expense. If I don't consider them, then whatever the other people have said, mostly you will end up spending around 3 to 4 lakhs. Now it will depend upon how much you cook. Like one of my colleagues told that if you cook, you can save a lot of money, because buying something online, buying groceries and then cooking is like cheaper rather than ordering online, because those are quite expensive in Germany. So if you are cooking, you can save quite a lot of money, and in a span of 4 months, it could amount to somewhere around 20 to 25,000. Then depending upon where do you visit, because if any country do you visit in Germany, just ensure that you have that student card, because in Germany everything is planned systematically. So if you are a student, there are always discounts. If you are from a particular university, you have discount for that particular university. So everything is very minute and very specific in that country. So you have to check everything, that okay, if you're a student, it doesn't mean that you will be getting that discount. It might be that a student who is age 26 and below, a student who is age 26 and below and studying in that university. So there are various rules and regulations, but there are discounts for traveling to train. So ensure that you avail those, you know those things. None of much of the information is available on the internet. So here in India, you get a lot of information on the internet, but there that side is not like that. You have to rely on most of the people who know the area. So it's better that you have some of the local friends who have visited that particular country, or who know about the expense, that they can tell you. Other important thing which I'll tell you about, just about saving money, because the expense is coming from that standpoint, is like, say for example, pens. So ensure that you get a lot of 5 or 10 pens from there, because Germany or USA, these are huge countries where the consumption is huge. So even if you want one pen, there's no store in Germany will get one pen. So you'll end up buying 2 pens for $1,000, just for an example. So ensure that these small things you have in plenty, like for a notebook. So ensure that you have, otherwise you'll just end up spending 5 to 10,000 on buying pens, notebooks, or envelope. Like I wanted to send something for one of my visa requirements. So I needed one envelope. Now I didn't get that envelope, but I was not getting a single envelope. So I got a pack of 10 envelopes, which was costing somewhere 600 or 700. So something like that. So if you be aware. There are lots of YouTube videos which you can watch. What are the things to go when you go for Germany? You'll get an idea that like that. So if you are aware of the small things, cook properly, and if you visit the country planning wise, then you can accommodate everything. Visit those 11 to 15 countries in not more than 4 lakhs to be going to the max. But it won't be minimum less than 2.5. You will have to end up spending at least 2.5 lakhs, and that too when you are living like at the edge. So this is what the answer to the question.
Yeah, thank you so much, Shubhanshu.
Swapnil, I would like to add on one thing. Like
Yeah,
if you're
absolutely.
planning to go on to US, if you're planning to go study in US, so the university SMU, so you can travel around the cities. It's free of cost. You just need to show your ID card. You'll get ID card from SMU. So traveling is absolutely free for students of SMU. That won't be an issue for you.
If you don't mind, even I would like to add one point to what Shubhanshu had said. He mentioned about that there is nothing much available on the internet, but there is one user-friendly website which I found it very useful, which my cousin had suggested me before going to the Germany. So regarding the taxes, the insurance taxes, obviously you're not going to pay because you're not going to earn over there. But insurance is very much mandatory over there, which every student ended up paying up. It's like 105 euros per month, so which you don't have any other option. Many companies, I don't know, many Indian insurance companies, like even I was told that if you buy this company, if you have this insurance claim, then you don't need to buy any insurance in Germany, and you'll be saving 600 euros approximately if you go for 6 months, which did not happen in Germany. So there is a website called as How to Germany. So that's the one website that I found it very useful on an initial stage. That's a different story that I had my cousin to help over there. So with respect to if I wanted to contact anybody, if I I landed up in any problem or going to a insurance company and doing all those necessary things, I had my cousin with me. But if my cousin was not there, or what I saw the other students doing, this website howtogermany.com was very beneficial for them.
Thank you so much, everyone. So with this, we have come to the end of the session. Therefore,
Well, may I
yeah,
ask one just question to them, if you allow?
yeah, sir.
Like,
Absolutely, sir.
yeah, just one round of that, how the program has transformed them actually in its overall learning. So what they have been before and after the program, is that something impact on the overall personality, or maybe your attitudes, or something like how it has been transforming to you? So can we have few comments on that? Thank you. Yes, anyone can pick up this one,
I
or
would,
maybe
I would like
around.
to start. So I would say that before I went for this program, and especially like if you would see that the corona pandemic happened, so it has taught us a lot of things. It has taught us to be independent. Like what I learned over there was to how to be independent. Like even though I didn't have my family or friends, I had to start making new friends. I had to become self motivated to do things, and that taught me to be more independent, to be more open to different people, and how not be judgmental, basically, because there's nothing right or wrong. Whatever, if there, it's just a different opinion, it's just a different point of view. So that was one important learning that I got from there, that to be open and to be open to things. that that's my part. And also, like about independence that I mentioned, you will learn to be with yourself more. And because over here we have a lot of people uh, with us, but over there you will learn to enjoy your own company. And also, then once you enjoy your own company, you can gel in with other people as well. And Yeah, that's it. That is what I learned from this.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, hello, I'm audible.
Yes.
Yes, Swapnil.
Anybody
Yeah,
else? Subhanshu, pre and post, is there something different?
Surely, sir. So I'll answer this question. So uh, obviously there is a difference. You will come out to being a different person. I won't comment whether if once you come to India, people will pursue you as being a better person or not. But from inside, you will always feel that you have changed and you have transformed. And as my earlier colleague told that because the fact is you'll get different perspective because in India we live similarly. Maybe the status of living will be different. Someone will be a lower income, middle income, high income, rich, super rich. But the way we live, the culture is same. But when you go to that country, if I talk about Germany or any developed country, you'll have people from different nationalities. So you get lots of perspective. Even of talking about girls, like one of our juniors might have asked a question whether that country is safe for girls or so why that question is coming because in India the girls are trained like that whenever they go they have to ensure but that country is particularly different. So even for girls, especially for women, going to those countries is a transformational change because it's a very different scenario where you get a certain sense of liberty and freedom when you go there. So not even for a male, not even for a male part, even for a female, it's very different, especially for a female. Because in India we are not females are not used to be living how the females live there in those developed countries. And getting to know about your personality when you talk to different people, the academic experience, how do you live there, you're cooking your food alone, you'll have different challenges on your own when you're going to visit some place. It's not like in India you can ask someone. So this whole experience of 4 or 5 months will be something which you'll cherish for long. And at the end of it, when you'll come back to India, you will feel the difference as to what you were 4 months before and now what you are 4 months ahead. So you will understand what you have earned there. It's a different matter whether if you will come back to India, people will perceive you in that matter or not. But from inside, you will always feel that I have achieved what I wanted to achieve in those 4 months before going to Germany, and I've emerged as a better person. You'll always feel that. That is what my point of view is in this particular question.
Thank you. Yeah, over to Swapnil. Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. So I would request Brijesh Bolia, sir, if you would like to add something.
The most important thing students have spoken, like the personal experiences, which you cannot find in any books or any private, I mean, you can say professional consultations, because those all are made up and structured. But these are something which is coming from, you can say, impromptu from their what are their feelings and experiences. I think this is one of the best sessions what I can think of to share something which they have just experienced and can be very helpful for the new aspirants. Fantastic. I'm really, I mean, brilliant of this, what I'll say. Don't you think so? I mean, small things which these people are speaking about what's their perspective, like what's their small experiences. And yes, what I also feel, I would like to say, uh, the people, the students who have been with us, and then when they went there, they came back. Uh, I don't know how much time they would have spent and learned and whatever, but when they came back, a little bit of difference we could also see in them, right? We could also see something has changed. Sometimes you may not be able to articulate in words, but you can feel, yeah, this is a changed person. This was not the same person who was. Uh, so I think exposure makes a lot of difference, and a small stint outside is always helpful, right? That's what I would like to say. Was I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Okay. I thought I just spoke to a screen. Okay, but that was really fantastic listening to you.
As well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with this, we have come to the end of the session. Therefore, on the behalf of the International Business Society at Kejasoma Institute of Management, I would like to extend a sincere thanks to our faculties Satendra sir and Brajesh sir, our speakers and seniors who took out time from their busy schedules. We hope that all your queries and apprehensions are completely resolved. And now the students have much more clarity about the student exchange program so that they can make a wise and informed decision. Thank you so much, everyone.